Scott. Sorry, Scott. Yeah, so right now we're creating a virtual environment using Conda. And the name of our virtual environment is going to be called Journal Club. And I specified that I also want it to include Python in there as well. So that's what we're going to be using. We'll run that.
Yeah, I just need to figure out where I want to put this. Let's see.
Yeah, and I created a separate directory that I'm going to be storing all the files in. I just named it Journal Club. Nothing super exciting.
Would you mind scrolling up a little bit again so I can follow? I just want to make sure the name's
Yeah, I was actually going to paste the code I just put in, right? I copied it for you. So
awesome.
yeah, virtual environments are great. And whenever you do a new project, you should create an environment specifically for that project. So that way, if things go wrong, you don't have to like get rid of everything. Or if you have to come back to a project and packages have updated and stuff, your code doesn't break. You're in an environment that you know your code works.
Yep. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Error. Oh, great.
What error did you get?
Hold on. I'll just copy and paste it.
Okay. Well, how about we share your screen really quick, and then
Sure.
I
think it has to do with the conda word, the Python. I can't remember if it's py or Python. Hold on. How do I share my screen? Share screen.
Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. Let me make sure. Okay. I think you should be able to share now.
Can it share? Okay. That was the first one.
Oh, you have a firewall.
Oh, that's why. Fun.
Are you working on a work computer or a personal computer?
Work computer. I can
Okay.
open up my Mac. Let me just get my Mac out. I don't think I have Anaconda downloaded on this one. Oh, no, I do. Just not the Navigator.
And you don't have to have Anaconda. Just working on a Windows machine, it's easier to work through Anaconda. Through a Mac, you don't have to. And so if you have, so Python should be already installed on your Mac. But
Let's see, CD desktop. Sorry.
Oh, you're
multitasking. Mixture, DR. Let me see, Journal Club. Okay, and then Zaconda, create journal _club Python.
Yeah, if you don't have Conda on your...
Please update Conda by running... Oh, crap. Hold on, I gotta add up.
No, that's okay. That's the whole reason we're doing this, so don't feel bad.
Okay, we're good. I just had to... It's extracting some packages right now. Okay, then I'll unshare my screen.
Yeah, it's super annoying because sometimes they don't work like they're supposed to. Well, your work tries to protect your computer from things.
Yeah, that's what I struggle with a lot of the times. Just getting things getting permission to download things.
Yep. So, okay, we're going to be downloading a couple different files, and I'll put the commands in the chat window. Um, and since I'm working through Anaconda, I'm going to be using Conda to install things because I've ran into problems if I've tried to use pip with an Anaconda environment. Sometimes it'll double load things and then it doesn't update correctly and stuff like that. So if I'm in an Anaconda environment, I try to just stick with Conda to download everything.
Okay, I think we're good to go.
Okay. So I'm going to activate my Conda environment. And so name the journal club. So we're going to start that up. You can see here I'm in my journal club environment. Python should work on it, so let's double check. Yep, I have the newest version of Python, which sometimes is great, sometimes libraries aren't updated, or some of the libraries we use don't update to the newest version of Python, so we might have to create a separate environment with a specific Python version in there. But hopefully not. So now that I'm in this environment, I can just sometimes what you can do before you even create an environment is you can list all the packages you want, or you can activate the environment and then you can go in and install things within the environment as well. So here I'm going to install Jupyter Notebook, and I'll put that command in the chat. Why didn't the chat pop up? There it goes. Yes, we want to install those.
Conda installers. Ooh, I spelled that wrong. Huh. Still gonna try? Interesting.
Next library package we're going to do is pandas after this is done.
I had to reinstall Jupyter Notebook for some reason.
Within your environment?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
so you might not have had it within that environment.
Okay, yeah, because I think it was trying to read, I forget what it was, but it was like no such file or something. So I had to specifically use pip3 to install it. But it's weird because I've used the same environment before for other things, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know what happened. But yeah, it's odd.
Yeah, I've found with the Mac computer that we work with, I've had to reinstall things a lot whenever it doesn't update, and it's super annoying.
Yeah, like that's the only thing I can think of is it recently updated. And then I'm like, why isn't this working?
Yeah, it's super annoying because like everything will just like have this cascade effect and just everything breaks, and so it feels like I'm starting from scratch every single time I have to do something on my Mac machine.
Yeah.
So the next one, hopefully you're getting Jupyter Notebook installed. Jupyter Notebook is a super nice library that you can use to code in chunks. And it's great for data science because you don't have to rerun your code the whole time. You can just run chunks of it and create graphs on the fly and stuff. It's great. I love it. You wouldn't want to write once you get all your code worked out, you would want to move it over to a traditional IDE, such as like PyCharm, to run all your code or write a bash script with it. And then the next package we installed is Pandas. Pandas is basically a data manipulation library that's pretty popular within Python that allows us to pull out certain data points, and it even has some simple graphing capabilities on there as well. The next one that we're going to be using is matplotlib. And I'm going to put this in the chat box as well. Eventually, we'll just stick with matplotlib right now, but I've been playing around with this new plotting library called Plotly that generates interactive graphs, and they're pretty awesome. And so,
Plotly?
Plotly. So I will. So we're going to be graphing everything using a Python library package called matplotlib. And Seaborn works with matplotlib to make your plots look prettier. So it kind of sits on top of it. We don't have to use it, but it's kind of nice sometimes to make nice pretty graphs. And then our last library we're going to be using, and my internet is so slow right now, is NumPy. And NumPy is just used for processing number strings objects, and it's super fast. It basically runs out lower level language, and a lot of times if you can do things in NumPy besides other libraries, you should, because it's much faster to do so. Oh, we already have NumPy on there. Let me double check that.
Ooh, Plotly seems really cool. It reminds me of D3. Have you used that before?
I haven't used that before.
It's like, I think it's JavaScript, but it looks really like the graphics just remind me of that. But this is nice because it's the Python version, I guess, of it.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, so in one of the other students in our lab group, when I was a student, he was using D3 for a lot of his visualizations, but he was building like a metagenomics pipeline with like a visualization component that would be web browser based. So I think this is specific for that. And so this was like, it was nice because it's also really interactive. So yeah, like it like like the visuals were just really cool with that.
That's cool. Yeah, it looks like almost the exact same as Plotly, because Plotly's web browser based too. So
Mm.
interesting.
Not that it makes it any easier for me to use because, I really don't know Python, but maybe
Yeah.
at some point, once I really get better at it, I can use it.
Pull out the old JavaScript too. Haven't coded in JavaScript in forever. Be Googling every single little thing. So.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think I did do, is it in Google, like your Gmail or something?
Uh-huh.
You can do like alerts and stuff. And so I did write like some alert things. Um, and I can't remember where it is now, but that's like the only time I've used JavaScript. And I had to do a lot of Googling.
All right. Well, just let us know when you're ready, Jessica. And
It's taking a sweet time downloading Jupyter, so
oh, no worries. So,
I think it's almost done.
yeah.
Now for pandas.
So once you get Jupyter and the other packages downloaded on there, what you can to activate your Jupyter notebook, you just literally type in into the command line Jupyter notebook, and it'll pop up a screen using your web browser like this. Right here is all the files that we have on there. So we have 3 CSVs, and then we have their corresponding JSON files. I don't even know if yeah, I can read it. But yeah, here's the CSVs. We can see here's the year, age, age group. Oh, sorry, death, and death rate. And I'm guessing the death rate, I wanted to look that up actually, is one in every, yeah. So every 1,000 live births. And so they did normalize that. I wasn't sure if we were going to have to go through the population data and normalize these, but it looks like it's already normalized and ready to go. So we can make comparisons across. Yeah, Jupyter Notebook's super nice because you can just pull up things as you need it. So here's all the neonatal data. And so hopefully when we plot this out, we can then go through and see reductions as we go across. And we'll probably have to separate the neonatal and the infant data. Yeah, and I wish we had the raw data associated with this because these are just summary statistics data. And so, in some regards, because like neonatal is considered, I think, 28 days and younger, while infant is considered the first year and younger. So, it would be
Mm-hmm.
nice. So, I don't know if this data, if the infant data encompasses the neonatal as well, or if they separated those out. And so this is day 365 to day 29. Um,
Oh, that makes sense.
so I'm not entirely sure how they're classifying that, or if it's day 0 to 365, and that's what they're including. Um,
And it doesn't say, right, in the on the site.
I don't know. Let's see if I can figure it out. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't specify. I'm just going to assume it includes that data. See, now I'm confused a little bit by this data too, because if it's every one, or so if it's out of every 1,000 deaths, how did they get a death rate of 1,983? Huh. See if we can find the source.
I
Uh,
think I found the source of this.
like the actual
Um,
data from it?
Well, I think I found where you can actually download it from the CDC. Here, let me put it in the chat.
Okay.
Um, right? Is that? Oh, it says rates are infants under 1 year and neonatal under 28 days. Okay, but that still doesn't say if
Yeah,
there neonatals included in infants.
I just assume it is. But
Yeah.
yes. And but I am really curious now about how they got the 1900 off of that. We'll do some exploratory analysis once Jessica's up and running.
So I'm ready to go. How did you activate Jupyter Notebook again?
Within your command prompt, just type in Jupyter Notebook,
Okay.
just like right here, and it'll hijack one of your web browsers and throw it up onto that.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay. So if you go to new, we're going to be going um, Python 3. That's not how my other Jupyter notebooks looked. What is going on? Huh, my Jupyter notebook is not working. To exit out of Jupyter Notebook, you go inside the command line and you press CC, and it sets down the server that it's running on. Because I'm having troubles, I'm going to retry that again. Oh, here we go. Ta-da. All right, so you should get something like this. And I just changed the title right up there. And I think we're going to get kicked out of Zoom here soon. Just so you realize, we have about 5 minutes. And
Yeah.
we're going to have to leave anyways, so I guess it works. But to get started, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import pandas to take a look at the data set that's there. To run a specific cell, after you put in a code, you hold the shift button and press enter, and it'll run it. If it has the star next to it, that means it's currently running that cell. And so it's not going to run anything. And so it goes in the order that you run the cells. And so if you're running this one and it still has a star and you try running this one won't run until that one's finished. Okay, we're going to create a data frame. Let's take a look at our, we want the infant, copy that. Yep, so it successfully went in. How are you coming along, Jessica?
I'm keeping up.
Okay, so are you familiar with pandas at all?
Not really, but
Okay,
hold on. Hold on. I think, I forgot to unzip this file. Oops.
so pandas is great because once we read in, so like here, while you're unzipping your files and loading it up, you can see here we read in our CSV file. So I said here, so I called pandas and I called this particular function called read CSV. Read CSV creates an object with our data frame in it. And the nice thing about these objects is that they have functions built into them that you can call on that particular object that then give you specific outputs. And so here you can see I called head. And so this will give us the first 5 data points on our data frame. So DF, you'll see in a lot of tutorials and everything else, when people load in their data sets, using Panda, they'll load it in called DF. That stands for data frame. So this is our data frame that we're working with. And
I'm ready to go. Sorry.
oh no, you're fine. And so just for the sake of time, I'll kind of finish explaining, and then we can do some more Thursday. But basically, it's nice whenever I load in a new data frame, the first thing I always do is call head to make sure that it's actually working correctly. So here you can see that we have our 3 columns. And so we have type, year, and mortality rate. So that looked exactly like how we saw when we, not childhood mortality, infant neonatal rates. And you can see here, so type, year, mortality rate. So we have that in there. And then we can then see that everything loaded up correctly. There's not a bunch of errors popping up or anything else. So it looks like we successfully were able to upload this data set into our Jupyter notebook using pandas. So and it's always good, especially if you're working with a data set you're not familiar with, to always do this too, because then you can kind of get an idea what all the column names are too, and how they're setting up their data. So I think we have less than a minute left, but we can, now that we kind of have a good start, we can start doing some of the exploratory data analysis next time, now that we have everything set up. So to exit out of your notebook, you go into your command line, hit Control-CC, and then to deactivate your Conda environment, just hit deactivate. And so now you can see we're out of our Journal Club environment, and now we're back into the normal one. So, yep.